All right, welcome back to the beatzillapdx official show news break. And this is about the illusion of unity politics. Uh, on the griot recently, Michael Harriet was on there talking to this doctor. I'm sure she'll say her name. But talking to this doctor, and obviously she identifies as an immigrant as well. And she does something interesting within this quick conversation that we're going to catch. But, when they're trying to sneak one over with the flat blackness line, we need to start paying attention because it's not happening by accident and it's happening in more places than one. So when you start seeing things like that, that means that things are usually connected and might be an agenda going on. So let's take a listen to what is being said here. And of course, Michael Harriet takes his usual jabs at the grassroots as he normally does and listen to the consistent tie that certain individuals like to try to make. Listen.
We're here today with Dr. Christina Greer.
I'm always so happy to talk to you, Michael.
So recently, with a few movements that have begun in America, or kind of a narrative that there's been this narrative that, African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, kind of have access to education, achievements that Black Americans, descendants of American enslaved Americans, don't have. And there's kind of been almost kind of a xenophobia that has white supremacist tendencies in that.
Now, you see what he just tried to do? Look at his face. Look at what he just tried to do. It has so he's throwing out the words, xenophobia, and then it also has white supremacist tendencies. How? See, he throws something out there without explaining what it is and explaining the correlation when talking about Black people and white supremacy. So, what he's trying to do is muddy and blur the lines of what bigotry, anti Black racism is, and also trying to redefine white supremacy as it being more portrayed or played out by Black people. So, yeah, don't miss that.
And, to kind of solidify that narrative, they point out how, Nigerian Americans are more likely to get access to college.
We have
No, 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 no. That's not true at all. That is not true at all. See, there is one of those bald-faced lies. So he already started. This is a conversation of propaganda, family, and that's why I'm doing this video. I just want y'all to see the level of wickedness because you're blatantly bearing false witness against a group of lineage of people and calling it xenophobic to delineate and say, hey, there is no flat blackness because there's no flat whiteness. There's no flat Asianness. There's no flat Latino. So why, when it comes to us and us talking about our distinct lineage, is it always a question of we're doing something bad by saying we are a specific lineage? And never miss that. And you got these other Black folks coming out here and trying to put domestic terrorism type of words and language on a delineation effort.
much more in common with one another than we do as far as divisions. And I think.
Now, notice, here's another statement being made, just like you just heard him do, which is not proven anywhere, nor does this person give a substantial breakdown at all, and where you can find what she just said. So if we have a common, where's the commonality between us and these people who call us Hakatas? I don't know.
Nigerian Americans are more likely to get access to college.
We have much more in common with one another than we do as far as divisions. And I think that there's some Black American groups that are really invested in exploiting the divisions and creating this hyper sense of, these Black immigrants don't belong. They absolutely do. First
Okay, so now did you just see what she just did there? And she's a doctor, so we know she's doing what she's doing in an educated fashion. So first off, she said the first lie that she just said, we all have something in common. No, we do not. Second of all, because our relationship with this land is not common to any of the people that you're mentioning. So no, there is no commonality there. The harms and atrocities done to our ancestors, your people have not experienced here in this land. Again, no commonality. Now, where the commonality enters the picture into is for the Black folks who you are referring to working and fighting this system to make doors and bridges open for your people to come here and enjoy. You still have to suffer under the system of blatant white supremacy. But that's no anybody bringing you here. That's you willfully leaving where you are at to come here for such, quote unquote, a better life. Well, the people to whom you are saying you have commonality with did not. Now, also, she's going to go into the great insult. And that's how you always know that this person is an immigrant, because she's about to go straight into the biggest insult. Let's hear what she got to say.
In exploiting the divisions and creating this hype.
Yeah, by the way, those groups, now notice she just used the word group. You know what she's talking about. Those groups that are, see, just notice that concerted effort.
Sense of, these Black immigrants don't belong. They absolutely do. First of all, we are,
Nobody said Black immigrants don't belong. We said they don't belong on our claim. See how she's using fancy wording? And you hear a lot of people trying to do this here lately.
Nation of immigrants, voluntary and involuntary.
Whoa, and there is the great insult. And there is the great insult.
Belong. They absolutely do. First of all, we are, nation of immigrants, voluntary and involuntary. And
what's an involuntary immigrant? What would you call an involuntary immigrant? A kidnapped victim? A prisoner of war? That is not an immigrant. A person who builds a country by way of their captivity is by no means an immigrant. Especially to the country that they built, to which you are an immigrant to, because that country didn't exist before those people were building it. So again, we could not be a country of immigrants because we are not immigrants to this country. So that's the big insult and the big lie.
Belong. They absolutely do. First of all, we are, nation of immigrants, voluntary and involuntary. And so how can we get more collectively is a better question than why is it that these new Blacks are taking stuff from the old Blacks?
These new Blacks are taking stuff from the old Blacks. No. There's foundational Black Americans and everyone else. Because we are the only ones tied to this land. Look at what they want to do in this conversation is get Black people to put down your uniqueness, put down your exceptionalism, put down your ancestors in this country, and jump over all of those people who were here to talk about a place to where you don't even know what ancestors you would be looking to over there. So if you're not giving it up to your ancestors here in America, then who are you giving it up to? Because those people existed. How can you forget about them? But these people right here get you to start looking towards their ancestors. versus your own. I'm hoping you're catching what I'm putting down.
Question then, why is it that these new blacks are taking stuff from the old blacks? That's not a productive conversation. We're all here now. So like, what do we need to figure out to get more as far as a substantive policy conversation?
For everyone else. We are not doing that. Now, are you listening to what she's telling you? She's basically saying, again, Black folks, stop looking out for your own interests and include everyone else into your claim. Although we don't have any parts of it, we haven't fought for an ounce of it. We want you, when you go get yours, to remember to include everyone else. This is not a friend. This is an enemy with a smile.
As a collective, because we know that we can get more if we all band together.
55 billion just went to Africa. Which one of those leaders said that foundational Black Americans, or Black Americans, period, the descendants of slaves, chattel slavery here in America, which one of them said these people need to get some of that money too? While they're having a conversation about the atrocities that they suffer from slavery. Just something to think about.
And we come up with sort of a list of priorities. And it might not always be an easy conversation because we have distinct ethnicity. We have geographic diversity. We have got class diversity. And this is within all of our groups moving around simultaneously.
None of that is relevant to foundational Black Americans because we are a unique group. So you do have uniqueness in all your other groups. The one thing you do not have in common with us is a tie to this land. Now, family, she's really going to get to the root of the matter, and I hope that you catch this.
So we know that, how we sort of square up is going to look at very distinct at different times and different iterations, but it's worth the struggle. It's worth the conversation because we know if we're in this country together and we're in a country that is predicated on anti-Black racism. Black immigrants may not be caught up in the net right now, but as you said, generations or depending on where you live, we do have Black skin and we share a certain concern for our future.
Did you hear what she just said? I hope you caught that. So people have been talking about Black immigrants replacing foundational Black Americans. Now, she gave you a reference earlier about new Blacks and old Blacks. What does that mean? Well, she gets to the point at the end of it is that they know they are not suffering under the system of oppression of white supremacy now, but they're all going to be considered Black years and generations down the line. So for the protections that we are getting and provisions for us, they are trying to attach their future generations again to our claim. This is Tether Talk 101. She is telling you, yeah, we don't suffer. So we do not have anything due to us at all. What we want for you to do, though, is look out for the future generations of our children and our legacy. That doesn't benefit us at all. Listen one more time.
As we know, we're in this country together and we're in a country that is predicated on anti-Black racism. Black immigrants may not be caught up in the net right now, but as you said, generations or depending on where you live, predicated on anti-Black racism. Black immigrants may not be caught up in the net right now, but as you said, generations or depending on where you live, we do have Blacks. As we know, if we're in this country together and we're in a country that is predicated on anti-Black racism. Black immigrants may not be caught up in the net right now, but as you said, generations or depending on where you live, we do have Black skin and we share a certain concern for our future collectively.
No, we don't collectively. That's just the problem. We do not share that concern collectively because none of your concern is for foundational Black Americans. And that is the problem. See, look at what she did. and he did. They came in and both took shots at foundational Black Americans and then turn around and say something about collectively. And not only that, though, the only benefit is to them. They spoke of nothing about us. See, it's this conversation of, well, we can all get more together. No, we are together over here, and we gonna get something for our group. Well, why is it just that group? I mean, everybody suffer from anti-Blackness. Well, then you should be speaking up for your group on that. And then the harms and atrocities done to your people, because we're not talking about skin color here. We're talking about lineage. So the whole flat Blackness conversation just really needs to die in 2023 as far as I'm concerned. Because we're talking lineage. Lineage has nothing to do with skin color. I mean, it's a byproduct of it. Skin color is a byproduct of lineage. So we talking about that soil, that blood, that bloodline. You understand? Those things are tied here. And this country is very well had their mind wrapped around bloodline generational benefits. So let's get to the point having that conversation with Black Americans, because this conversation right here is one to keep you away from understanding generational wealth. This is the illusion of unity politics. There is no such thing, and there is no other group that has done that. So let's not look for us to do that now. Foundational Black Americans are a separate lineage with their very unique claim to this land. No one else on earth fits that bill to even jump into the conversation. Stop trying to include yourselves. So Michael, Harriet, and Dr., please stay in your lane. Because we do not need the flat Black agenda over here. That is not what we are pushing. And we do not need hangers on and slipping in the door, back door type of shady business makers, fakers, fakers, because this is about reparations. Nobody else has talked about wanting to be flatly Black, except for the past few years when reparations is seriously being spoken about. So we all know what this is, and we're not going to allow this to fall into another conversation of absolute trash. So with that being said, family, I just wanted to break down this really quick and let you know the type of things that are going on, because you are seeing a lot of reparation ops out here, and it's coming in many different forms. So this is just one of the ways of a reparation op. The Pan-African Africans benefit from foundational Black Americans, while foundational Black Americans get no benefit from it. That is the program that they have been used to, and that faucet is getting sealed off. So let me know what you think about this particular story in the comments below. And please like and share this video. And if you have not already subscribed to this channel, you can do so now at this time, and also hit the join button if you would like to join the channel. And of course, if you would like to support this broadcast and this platform, you can do so by all of the links that will be in the description of this video. The PayPal, Cash App, super thanks and such. So thank y'all so much in advance for supporting this program. Thank everybody who has already supported this program. Shout out to Codified Trucking and Key Prince and all of the members of this channel. And yes, indeed. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Beatzilla PDX official news break, and these folks have got to be checked. So make sure that we stay Black, stay vigilant, stay alive, and always stay Black first. Shalom, y'all.